Welcome to the fourth part of the reasoning or a reasoning logic. We discussed about the reasoning in part 1. We started with a different story format to understand the different types of logic and how to deal with. Second part, we discussed about the solving the logical questions by using the Venn diagram. And the third part, we discuss about the analytical method to solve the reasoning questions. The fourth part, we discuss about some of the jargons and different words which are going to come to understand the logic properly. Now we are going to go to the advanced part of the logic, that is the square of logic. In a square of logic, there are four propositions which are given it to you, and these four proposition has the interrelationship amongst each other. So you need to understand the interrelationship between the amongst the four logical proposition, and based on that four logical proposition you have to come out with the correct conclusion. The correct conclusion is possible only you understand the relationship amongst the four proposition. So we are going to understand these four proposition and the interrelationship that they have amongst each other. So in a square of opposition, the square of opposition, as I mentioned, there are basically four parts of the proposition. Out of the four parts, two parts are categorical. Now what do you mean by categorical? Categorical means universal or unconditional. Unconditional means no condition is involved into it. Whatever they say, it is correct. There is no if and but involved into it. It is going to cover up the entire gamut. So it is called categorical proposition, and two which are particular proposition. So 2 plus 2, there are four proposition, or you can say there are four types of statement. For example, let's say the universal positive proposition, universal positive. So let's say all Sardarjis are hardworking, means those who are Sardarjis are hardworking. You can say some Sardarjis are hardworking, that is acceptable, but you cannot say some not hardworking people are Sardarji. That is not possible. Some Sardarjis are not hardworking, that is not possible. So that is the meaning of categorical or unconditional. So now let us start the first proposition, which is known as a universal affirmative proposition. Now under the universal affirmative means positive, and we are going to denote the universal affirmative proposition with the letter A or with the alphabet A. So the starting is all, means all Sardarjis are hardworking, all Americans are techno-savvy. So either it is starting with all, or it is going to start with every, or it is going to start with each, or it is going to start with any, or it is going to start with only. To confuse you, sometime they are going to use none only, but also. All this is equal to all. So it is, first of all, it is all, it covers everybody, and it is always positive. When these two conditions are fulfilled, then you can say it is an universal affirmative proposition, and it is denoted by the alphabet A. Understood? Now we are talking about the second type of preposition, which is called universal negative, and it is denoted with the alphabet E. Now what is universal negative? the sentence is starting with no or never or none or not. If no, never, none and not is going to come and it covers the entire subject, then it is known as universal negative and it is denoted by English letter E. Next, particular affirmative preposition, which is denoted by the English alphabet I, and the starting is some, most, a few, certain, many, except. All these are considered to be the particular affirmative preposition and it is denoted by the English letter E. Particular negative preposition. Now in particular negative preposition, it starts with some not, hardly, remember this word, hardly, all plus no. When these two things comes together, then it is an O type of preposition which is known as particularly negative prepositions. So we discussed 4. Out of 4, 2 are universal and 2 are particular, and universal positive and negative and particular positive and negative. So total 4 type of prepositions are there. Now let's see the square of opposition diagram. In a square of opposition, here we are writing A, here we are writing E, here we are writing I, and here we are writing O. Now we already discussed what is A. A means universal positive or affirmative preposition, and the starting is all, every, each, only, none, but also, right? So it is called universal affirmative preposition. And universal negative preposition, it is starting with no, never and none. Then here we are writing particular affirmative preposition. It means it is positive but particular. It doesn't include all. It includes some, a few, most, certain, except. These are the keywords. And particular negative preposition, it is negative but doesn't cover everyone. So some not, hardly, all but not. These are the keywords. Now let us understand the relationship amongst each other. When there is an A type of preposition and from A you are going to develop E kind of preposition, then it is called contrary. Then it is called contrary preposition. When you are crossing the relationship, means from A to O, means universal affirmative to particular negative, then it is known as contradictory preposition. And from E means universal negative to particular positive or affirmative, then it is also called contradictory. Now between both universal positive and universal negative, it is called contrary. Then one is universal, one is particular, then it is known as contradictory. So here it is universal, here it is particular. Here it is universal, here it is particular. And from particular to particular, it is known as subcontrary. So from particular affirmative to particular negative, then it is known as subcontrary. And there is one more relationship which is known as subaltern. In subaltern, you are going from universal affirmative to particular affirmative. Remember, both are positive. Both are positive. But here it is universal and here it is particular. So here again it is universal negative and particular negative. So both are negative. Both are negative, but here it is universal and here it is particular. So when this kind of relationship are given, then it is known as subaltern preposition. Are you clear? Now let us start the contradictory relationship. It is the relationship between A to O and E to I. So let's say A, E, I and O. This is universal positive, this is universal negative, this is particular affirmative and this is particular negative. Now when you are going to cross it or when you are going diagonally from O to A or A to E or from E to E or E to EI, then it is known as contradictory relationship. Now, what is the relationship when the contradictory statements are given? So listen, if A is true, then O is false. So let's say if this is true, then this is the contradictory of A, so this is false. If E is true, if E is true, then I is false, and vice versa. It means if this is false, then this is true. If this is false, then this is true. Understood? So let's say if A is undetermined, then O is also undetermined, and vice versa. All judges are lawyers. All judges are lawyers. So this is what type of proposition? This is A type of proposition. This is E, this is I, and this is O. So if this is true, then contradictory is O. This much is, this is E, this is false. So some judges are not lawyers. Some judges are not lawyers. Remember this word, not. So this is particular negative proposition is false if universal affirmative is true. Now, based on this particular idea, there are certain questions which is being asked in a competitive exam, and we are going to solve some of the questions, so that will make your idea very clear and it will crystallize your understanding. Let's say, which of the following statements are mutually contradictory? All flowers are not fragrant. All flowers are not fragrant. The word not is coming. So this is E, because all is written. So it is E. Most flowers are not fragrant. So it is particular negative. None of the flower is fragrant. So it is E. Sorry, this is most flowers are fragrant. So this is E, particularly affirmative. Now based on this, let's say if A is true, then O is false. If E is true, then I is false. So clearly the contradictory propositions are A and O and E and I. In the given options, statement number 3 and statement number 4, none of the flower is fragrant. So this is E. Now against E, what is there? It is I. And most of the flowers are fragrant. So it is particularly affirmative proposition. So these two are contradictory. Therefore, we can say 3 and 4, D is the correct answer. Next, no men are mortal. No men are mortal. So E type of proposition is given. So we know the diagram now, A, E, I and O. When E is given, and if it is no men are mortal, and they are asking you what is contradictory of E. So contradictory of E is I, and I is particular affirmative. So some men are mortal. This is the correct answer, because E, the contradictory is I, and this is I type of proposition. Next, by which of the following proposition, the proposition some men are not honest. Some men are not honest means it is O type of proposition, and we know A, E, I and O. Now contradictory of the O is A. A means universal affirmative. So here there is only one which is universal affirmative. All men are honest. So this is the correct answer. Next, among the following propositions, two are related in such a way that one is a denial of other. Which are those propositions? So all women are equal to men. So this is A type of proposition. Some women are equal to men. So this is I type of proposition. Some women are not equal to men. So this is O type of proposition. And no women are equal to men. So this is E type of proposition. And we know A-E-I-N-O. So if A is given, then O is the contradictory of O. Therefore, AO means A and C. A and C is given. So A and C is contradictory to each other. So this is the D is the correct answer. Next, if the proposition no men are honest, so it is E type of proposition, is taken to be false, then which of the following proposition can be claimed to be true? So if A is false, then I is true, and what is I? I is particularly affirmative, and what is particularly affirmative? Some men are honest, which is particularly affirmative, So B is the correct answer. By which of the following proposition the proposition wise men are hardly afraid of death? So wise men are hardly afraid of death. So this is A type of proposition, and the contradictions of A is O. O means particularly negative. So the correct answer over here is B. All wise men are afraid of death. Some wise men are hardly afraid of death. So this is O type of proposition, and against O is A, and this is A universal positive. So B is the correct answer. Next, we are going to discuss about the second type of relationship, that is the relationship which is known as contrary relationship. We already discussed about the contradictory relationship. Now we are going to discuss about contrary relationship. Contrary relationship is between universal in nature. So universal positive and universal negative. Now understand, in this kind of relationship, the base is true. The base is true. Remember, base is always true. It means that if A is true, then you can say E is false, and when E is true, then A is false. Okay, but let's say if it is say that, remember, listen to me very clearly, if A is false, then E is doubtful, or E is false, then A is doubtful. You have to start with true. If E is true, then A is false, then A is true, then E is false. Are you clear? One more time. Listen. If A and E both are universal, and if A is true, then you can say E is false. Or when E is true, then you can say A is false. Clear? But if they say A is false, then E is doubtful. Or when they say E is false, then A is doubtful. So what we can say, both the side false together but cannot be true together. So you can say A and E can be false together but cannot be true together. Are you clear? So if A is true, E is false. If E is true, then A is false. So in the contrary, the base is true. But if it is said, if one side is true, the other side must be false. But if one side is false, other side is doubtful. So to remember the above rule, contrary relationship. Now there are certain time that you may forget this rule. So there is a small story. if you listen to this small story and remember it, then you are not going to make this mistake. Let's say who is the original mother story. Once upon a time, a child and his mother went to a fair. There were many people in the fair and the child was separated from his mother in the fair. So the child's mother went to the police station to file a complaint. She said that I am Sonia and my son's name is Rahul, who is 2 years old and lost in fair. Now a police got a similar complaint from the other woman who is also claiming that Rahul is there, Rahul is her son. Now the police need to decide who is the original mother of Rahul. Are you clear? So Rahul mother is Sonia and Rahul mother is other woman, and let's say the other woman name is Jayalalitha. Okay, now if Sonia claims that Rahul is her son, then we know the other women are false. So if Sonia is saying Rahul is my son, then we can say Jayalalitha is false. If Jayalalitha claims that she is the Rahul's mother, which is false, and other woman also claimed that Rahul is her son, then the other woman may be true or may be a fake mother. Therefore, if it is claimed by false mother, then other side may be false. So if one side is true, other side is false. If other side is false, then we can say the other side is doubtful. So in a contrary relationship, both may be false. Both may be false, but both may not be true together. Now, keeping this idea in mind, there are certain questions that we are going to solve. Among the following, there are two statements which cannot be true together. Listen, here it is a hint which cannot be true together. When it is written, then you have to understand it is a contrary relationship, and contrary relationship is between A to E. Clear? But can be false together. But A is false and E is also false, it is possible. So let's say all poets are dreamers, no poets are dreamer. So if A is true, then E is false. But there is no particular affirmative and there is no particular negative. Are you clear? So the correct answer is A. A and B, because it is E and A and E relationship. Next, among the following proposition, two are related in such a way that they both cannot be true together. So here it is an hint. Both cannot be true. Cannot be true together. Then it is A to E type of relationship, which is known as contrary relationship. But both can be false together. Both can be false together. It is possible. So here the proposition, every student is attentive. Some students are attentive. So this is not a question because it is a particular affirmative, and some students are not attentive, it is particularly negative. So this is correct and this is correct. So this is A and this is E. So we have to see A and C is written over here. So answer is 2, second. Now we are going to discuss about the sub-contrary relationship. We discuss about the contradictory relationship. We discuss about the contrary relationship, which is at the up and the base is true. Now we are going down, and there is two proposition which is particularly affirmative and particularly negative. So this kind of relationship is known as sub-contrary, and in this kind of proposition, the base is false. It means if this is false, then this is true. If this is false, then this is true. But if this is true, then it is undetermined, and if this is true, this is also undetermined. It means that one is false, the other is true. But if it is given that a statement is true, then we cannot say about the other statement. If one is false, then the other is true. If one is true, then other is doubtful. But cannot both be false together. Both cannot be false together, but both can be true together. Let's say some priests are cunning. Some priests are cunning. This is I type of proposition. No priest is cunning. This is O type of proposition. E type of proposition. All priests are cunning. This is A type of proposition. Some priests are not cunning. That is O type of proposition. Therefore, the relationship is between I and O. The relationship between I and O, therefore it is known as subcontrary relationship, and 1 and 4 is given in option D. So this is the correct answer. Next question. Now we are going to discuss about subalternation. In subalternation, the relationship A to E, universal affirmative to particular affirmative, universal negative to particular negative. And remember that true is always going down and false is always going up. If this is true, then we can talk about this statement. But if this is false, then this is doubtful, or if this is false, then this is doubtful. The true is always up, means it is always associated with the universal preposition. So let's say A is false. If A is false, then I is doubtful. If E is false, then O is doubtful. If A is true, then I is true. If E is true, then O is true. Let's say some example. Among the following proposition, two are related in such a way that they cannot both be true. Both cannot be true, but both can be false. So both cannot be true. So both cannot be the mother of Rahul. So remember this thing, Rahul and Sonia story. So both cannot be true, but both can be false together. So it is about the contrary relationship, and in contrary relationship, the relationship between A and E. So every student is A, and some students are never attentive, some students are never attentive. So in the question, the relationship mentioned is related to A and E, and A and C are related proposition. Here not some but all. So A and D, the correct answer is 2, A and C. It means students are never attentive. Here only student is written, so you have to understand it is all. So A and C is the correct answer. Now, is there any panacea to remember all these facts? Yes. Let's say the contrary relationship is a cross type of relationship or diagonally opposite relationship where A and E and E and I. So if A proposition is false, then I proposition is right, and when I is false, E is right. When A is right, O is false, and O is right, A is false. In contrary relationship, the base is always true. It means both the proposition cannot be true together. So if A type of proposition is true, then we can say E type of proposition is false. So in contrary relations, it is the relationship between A to E and E to A. So if A is true, then E is false. If E is true, then A is false. But you cannot say when the A is false, then E is doubtful. When E is false, then A is doubtful. So in A and E type of proposition false together, but both the proposition cannot be true together. Now in subcontrary relationship, the base is false. It means subcontrary means it is the relationship between I and O and O and I. So if I is false, you can say O is true, or when O is false, then you can say I is true. But if I is true, then this is doubtful. Then O is true, then this is doubtful. So both I and O type of proposition can be true at the same time, but both cannot be false at the same time because the base is false. Next, under the fourth type of relationship, that is between A, E, I and O. So A to I and E to O. If it is true, then it is true. If it is false here, false here also. If it is false here, then it is doubtful here. So remember, false to false. If false is going up, false is going up. True is going down. But when the false is going down, it is doubtful. Let's start some questions. If the proposition all ties are poor, so all ties are poor, it is an A type of proposition. Which of the following proposition can be true? If this is false, then O type of proposition is true. O type of proposition is particular negative, and here this is called particular negative. So answer is B. Next, if the proposition domestic animals are hardly ferocious, domestic elements are hardly ferocious. So domestic animals are hardly ferocious. It is an E type of proposition. It means if this is false, then I is true, and we know the true is going up. So A is also true. So A, all domestic animals are ferocious. This is true. Most of the domestic animals are ferocious. This is also true. So A and B is true. So here we are ending our chapter on square of opposition. This is a very important chapter which is the heart of the logic. So you need to understand and watch the video for 2 or 3 times till you get a mastery of the concept, or when you get a knack of the concept. Thank you very much. See you next time.